Knicks fans, what's poppin'? It's your boy Simeon Russell from Nothing But Knicks. We just seen the Knicks shut down the Utah Jazz to go 2-1 on this West Coast trip. Let's get into it. We're going to try to get into it. There we go. Yes, sir. What's going on, folks? It's late, 1 o'clock in the morning, but we're here, without a doubt. We're still here. You know what I'm saying? The GOAT. I'm trying to be, folks. I'm trying to be. You know, it's late, so it's not going to be real long. It's not going to be a super long stream tonight or this morning because it's super late, but I'm still on because it's the Knicks and we won, and we got to talk about it no matter what. Because it was a good win. It was a win that we needed. We went into Utah. It's a team that's under 500, but it's still a win that we needed, and we won. We was able to pull it out. 72 points in the second half. Wow, already, Darcy, Burke needs to start or at least get more playing time already. Already want Burke to start the game. I mean, we're going to talk about Trey Burke and him playing in the fourth quarter. We're going to get into it. But, you know, let's look at the game a little bit. Talk about the game a little bit. Tim Hardaway had a great game. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the road trip and what it means. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. The government is shut down, but we not shut down, right? So we're going to make this pop. Let's go. Here we go. We held a 10-point lead. The Jazz held a 10-point lead. So it was obviously it was a pretty close game throughout, tight game throughout. We shot 49% from the field, 55% from three. We're actually starting to pull threes again. With Tim Hardaway back, we're still not pulling at the rate of other teams, but we're pulling and we're hitting. Good. Yep, there we go, Tamika. They finally shot the three ball. Made a difference. Made a big difference. 55% from three. We scored 33 points from the three-point line. That makes a big difference. Although the Jazz scored 33 points from the three-point line, they shot 31 threes, but they only shot 35.5%. 18 for 23 from the free throw line. We're doing better getting to the line. We've always shot around that. We've had some games where we shot lower than that. I watched Porzingis pull a mellow move last night. Steal the technical foul from Courtney Lee. Jeff Hornacek, had this thing about it. I get it. You want your best free throw shooter shooting that technical foul, but he pulled a mellow move. The French Unicorn, big shouts, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that with the super chat, brother. Big shout out to you, French Unicorn. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Like I said, like I'm going to say all the time, anything that ever comes in the super chat, man, is going right to the channel so we can keep growing this channel, keep making it bigger, and better, and provide opportunities for everybody to do things that they might want to do as far as being creative and surrounding the Knicks and sports. So big up to the French Unicorn, man. I appreciate you. We got killed on the boards tonight, though. 52 rebounds for the Utah Jazz, 36 rebounds for the New York Knicks. Smacked on the boards. Offensive rebounds, 15 for the Utah Jazz, 7 for the Knicks. 37 defensive rebounds for the Jazz, 29 for the Knicks. We definitely got smacked on the boards. If you remember the first game, Rudy Gobert didn't play for Utah. He played tonight, and his difference was he definitely made a difference out there on the floor. Blocking shots, grabbing rebounds, kind of a menace in the paint all night. But we managed to pull it out. Very good win. 6 steals, 6 blocks, only 12 turnovers. We took care of the ball tonight. We did the type of things we need to do to win on the road. You look at the box score, Tim Hardaway, 31 points. Porzingis, 18. 2 rebounds. We need more rebounds from that than that from KP, man. I know he's a four, a stretch four that guards other stretch fours, but we got to get more than 2 rebounds from him. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks. NBA leader in block shots this year. Cantor, 12 points, 9 rebounds. Jarrett Jack, 6 points, 6 assists. Courtney Lee, 18 points, 5 rebounds. Beasley had 10 points, 5 boards. Frank only played 4 minutes. To be quite honest, he didn't really deserve too many minutes tonight, in my opinion. And that's what happens in the NBA. If you're not producing, then you're not going to get the minutes. I have no arguments with it. Lance Thomas, 6 minutes, 7 points. Kylo Quinn, 4 points. Didn't really get minutes tonight. Well, he got 15 minutes. Didn't do much with it. Trey Burke, 7 points, 15 minutes. 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Ron Baker played a lot, 13 minutes. Let's see. Hornacek played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players tonight. Only person that get any minutes on the floor is Billy. I wonder why that is. What was it about tonight that made him decide that he had to open up the lineup and play 12 players? It's not like we played a back-to-back. We didn't play a back-to-back. It wasn't the second end of a back-to-back. It wasn't the first end of a back-to-back. What was it about tonight that made him say he had to play 12 players? Was he just searching for lineups that was going to work? Or what is it? I don't know. But anyway, he did. And he couldn't find it within himself to give Billy a few minutes. After playing everybody else, Billy didn't play. But, that's what it is. NBA, that's how it goes. Lily Phillips, she said, yes, Frank should have played more in practice. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Tamiki said he heard Mark Jackson is going to get the job. I don't know. Maybe. I think he's searching for something, though. He's searching for somebody to give him some punch. Searching for somebody to bring energy to the team. I think he's definitely wants to show. Scott Perry, Steve Mills, those guys, they're on the road. Hey, Dub, what's popping, bro? They're on the road with the Knicks right now, evaluating the team, looking to see, are they gonna play with some heart, with some fire, with some gumption. You know what I'm saying? And if not, then they'll be looking to see who they can trade at the trade deadline. They'll be looking to see if it's time to do a fire sale. And I think that also plays into Jeff Hornacek. If they're looking to do a fire sale for the team, if the team can't perform, if the team can't show the energy, play the defense that they're looking for, then it's going to eventually fall back on Jeff Hornacek. So I would say that Jeff Hornacek is probably playing to prove that he can fire up the team and he can motivate the team to perform and come out with that kind of fire. Excuse me. So it could be that he's looking for that spark plug. Excuse me again. Allergies is kicking my butt right now, guys. But let's look at Hardaway. Let's take a look at Hardaway real fast. Hardaway, 31. Excuse me again. 31 points. Shot 64.7% from the field. That's a really good night. 6 for 7 from the 3-point line. 3 assists, 5 rebounds, only 2 turnovers. This is exactly what we were missing for such a long time with Hardaway being out. Appreciate that, French Unicorn. Thank you. We were missing that type of play. So now we got it back. Let's see, see what we can do with it. Let's see if we can make it work for us. Obviously, Hardaway's not going to have this kind of night every night. He's not going to drop 31 every night. He's not going to shoot 64% from the field every night. But his ability to pull up on the drop of a dime, his ability to pull up from three, his ability to score in transition, get the ball up the floor, move in transition, is definitely helping the team. And you can see the difference. He played 27 minutes tonight. KP played 30. I did think that Hornacek was trying to keep KP's minutes down some. I guess maybe that's a little bit less than he was playing them before. But Hardaway, 27 minutes, leg looking strong. Let's see where this takes us because, our next game is a winnable game, a team that we already beat. And I'm going to say winnable from now on. I'm not going to say a team that we should beat anymore because you never know with the Knicks. So let's see what happens. We're treading water. We're staying right there. We're staying within the near shot of the playoffs, which is going to create a conundrum, I guess you want to call it, for Scott Perry. Because if we're in an near shot of the playoffs, then his mind is going to be, where do I go from here? We're right here. Do we continue to try to make this push, or do we do a fire sale? And we'll see what happens. We'll see what he's thinking. I think a lot's going to be based on the energy that the team is bringing. The energy that a team is bringing. But anyway, back to Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway really played well for us tonight. I want to ask you guys a question. If Hardaway stayed healthy, do you think that he would have been a candidate for the All-Star team? It's hard to say. He was playing really well when he went out. He was looking like, in my opinion, he looked like an All-Star when he went out, or at least All-Star caliber. It is possible. I mean, if he puts up performances like this every night, then, it's a no-brainer. But, Hardaway is bringing to us exactly what we've needed for some time. All right, let me see. Robert, you say yes, and then the other Robert says no. Cruz, you say no. I don't know. He's averaging, so let's see what he's averaging this year. Now, of course, we've got he missed, 21 games or something like that. Hardaway has given us 18 points, 4.2 rebounds, shooting 42% from the field. So his field goal percentage is kind of low. 3-point percentage, 31.6% from the 3-point line. But, we got to remember, he started the season, shaky. You know what I'm saying? Gunners don't usually make All-Star Weekend. I disagree with that. There's a lot of gunners that make All-Star Weekend. You look at All-Star Weekend. There's going to be a lot of players that, shoot a lot of shots. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. You take a look at it. You look at who's playing in All-Star Weekend, and then look at how many shots they take per game, and you'll definitely see some gunners out there for sure. You know what I'm saying? Jen, you say, is the Kemba thing on my agenda? I'll get to that in a minute. I'll talk about that in a minute. But, it's hard to say if Tim Hardaway would have been an all-star candidate. I think that he maybe would have been at least recognized in the voting if he would have stayed healthy. But, I think in the future, Tim Hardaway, I think, can make an all-star team. Now, look, I haven't always been in support of Tim Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? When he played with us, when he played with the Knicks, his first stint with the Knicks, I didn't really like his game. I didn't like his style of play. I felt like he only brought shooting to the team. I didn't feel like he brought defense or rebounding or anything else. You know what I'm saying? And in the beginning of the year, I was down on him. But then I started seeing him go to the basket a lot more, play better in transition. Because in the beginning of the year, I kind of thought he was, a 3-point shooter and a guy that could score in transition. He wasn't a guy to me that went to the basket a lot, that could break down the defense, but he started to do that before he went out a little bit better, and he was really playing well. You know, some people in there saying Tim Hardaway's a bum. He's far from that, in my opinion. He's not a bum. Definitely not a bum. He can play ball. Is he going to be your number one option every night and things like that? Probably not. That's okay. You don't need him to be. That's not what you need. He's a building block and a piece to build around, and a guy that can maybe make 1 or 2 All-Star teams, maybe 3. But I think he's far. He's not a bum. He's definitely not a bum. I'm looking forward to seeing what Tim Hardaway can do. He's kind of, over the year, he's kind of changed me from getting on him to, and I always supported him, but getting on him, and he's kind of changed me over to saying that, he really is a critical part of the team. I even went so far as to say one time that I would trade him for another starting 3-man. Honestly, I did say that. But I like what he's doing and what he's bringing. He's not afraid to pull it up quick off that screen and roll. He's not afraid to get in there in that mid-range area and with a quick pull up, pull it from 3, transition. So I like what he's bringing. I like what he's bringing. We'll see, Mike Hawks. I disagree with you. I think he has the ability and a chance to make 1 or 2. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's, you say a bum is a bum, but I don't think he's a bum. I think I don't think he's a bum. This guy Joe, appreciate the super chat, my brother. Good looking out for sure. Definitely appreciate that. Well, we'll see. We got time. He's 25 years old. We definitely have time to see if he'll make an All-Star game or not. Just because he hasn't made it in his first few years in the league doesn't mean he won't make it. We'll see. You had John Starks make an All-Star team when the Knicks were really good. You always get those fringe guys that make All-Star teams. Guys that, in other years would be snubs, but when their team is really good, they make an All-Star team. We had Roy Hibbert make an All-Star team. Come on, bro. Roy Hibbert made the All-Star team. Where is he now? And why did he make the All-Star team? He made the All-Star team because Indiana was good. If he's on the team and the Knicks are a top 4 team in the East, or maybe they get to the point where they're a top 2 team in the East, and he's a critical part to that, and he's averaging 18 points a game, he's a critical part of that team, why would he not make the All-Star team? You know what I'm saying? There's been players with less talent. He's not All-Star material. Why? So tell me why. Don't just say he's not All-Star material. Why is he not All-Star material? There's players with the same stats who have made the All-Star team. With the same stats. And his stats, of course, we know he started off the season not playing well at all. You know what I'm saying? He started off the season shooting way worse than the stats that we see on the screen right now. And then gradually throughout the season, he started to play better. So, why not? Why not? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it has to be this year. Obviously, it's not going to be this year or next year. It could be the year after. Who knows? 17 and up are all-star numbers. Yeah, Daniel, that is. You know what I'm saying? You put yourself in the mix. You know, Rip Hamilton. There you go, Rip Hamilton. Same kind of player, same type of numbers, made the All-Star team. So you never know. It depends on what the team does and how the team goes in the future. I wouldn't count it out. Definitely wouldn't count it out. All right. Let's talk about Trey Burke in the fourth quarter. And then after we talk about that, I want to get to Kemba Walker. But Trey Burke played majority of the fourth quarter. Frank obviously wasn't playing well tonight. Picked up early fouls. Wasn't really doing much when he did get in the second half. He didn't look good. Didn't deserve to play. And I have no qualms at all with Hornacek not giving Frank that burn. It is what it is. If you don't perform, then you don't play. It happens like that sometimes. I know we're gonna get some people to say he needs to go down to the G League. Da 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 da. I disagree. You're gonna have games where you play well. You're gonna have games where you don't play well. That's the way the NBA goes. That's the way basketball goes. But Burke came through in the fourth quarter for us. His energy, his ability to penetrate, helped us. And it's what we. Lily, you say finally. What do you mean by finally? Because I said Frank didn't play well tonight. Hey, I'm gonna call a spade, man. You know what I'm saying? If I see a player don't play well, then that's what it is. They don't play well. I don't have any problem saying if a player doesn't play well. It doesn't mean that I think that player is a bum or they suck or they're not good just because they didn't play well on one night, though. I disagree. You say he's been asleep since he started the season. I disagree with that. We've seen him have some good nights. He's not, maybe he's not the player that everyone else is looking for. Everyone is looking for the highlight guy or the guy that has this blazing speed. And, Frank has some speed. He just turns it on when he feels like he needs to turn it on. And I think at some point you're going to see that he learns how to use that change his speed and utilize his speed a little bit better. I don't think he's been asleep at the wheel. He's just learning. It's a growth process for him. Guys really have to take that into account because he really is. When we talk about a youth amongst men, he really is. We're talking about a kid that turned 19 in July. 19 in July. He won't turn 20 until next July, till this season is over. He is a baby, the second youngest player in the NBA. Even Donovan Mitchell is 21. He's a full 2 years older than Frank. Donovan Mitchell turns 22 in September. Frank will be turning 20 in July. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, someone like Donovan Mitchell is going to be stronger, have a better body, those type of things. Frank is a baby, man. He really is a baby. And we've got to, we've got to be a little bit more. We got to be patient with him. Let him get used to the U.S. game a little bit. He's going to strengthen up. You can look at his body and you can see that he's going to fill into his body. Man. And when he fills into his body, he's going to be a heck of a ball player. It's just, in New York, we're so impatient. We want that instant gratification, and we never want to let things go and develop, and let it build organically. We never want to do that. And I know we started talking about Trey Burke in the fourth quarter, and we moved over into Frank. So I'm going to go back and talk about Trey Burke. I think it's impressive for a guy to be in the G League, no matter how well you were playing in the G League. You know, I think it's impressive for a guy playing in the G League to come into the NBA and be able to play well in fourth quarter in a game that your team needs. I think that's impressive. That's good. You know, and it's good that we can have a player like that. You know, a player that's right now on the bench that can come in and perform for us in the fourth quarter. You know, I just seen somebody ask me if about Frank in the G League and if I think he's crazy about saying Frank should go to the G League still. And I don't see a reason that Frank needs to go into the G League. You know, I just don't see a reason for it. Frank has shown that he can play on this level. He's shown that he can play in the NBA. You know, he's had good games. He's going to have up and down games. That's the life of a rookie. There's veterans in the league that have up and down games. It happens every year, you know. He's going to have up and down games. And you'll see, you know, you'll see 1 year, probably by his third year, that he's really consistent. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that, you know, when a player proves that they can play on this level and produce on this level, you know, help you win games on this level, then I don't think that you need, what's the purpose of sending him to the G League? If he's already getting plays, I could see if he starts to get 4 minutes a game every game, which I doubt, you know, if he starts to get 4 minutes a game every single game, then yeah, you can say, okay, you know what, maybe he needs to go to the G League. You know, but, you know, he's usually averaging between 15 and 20 minutes a game. That's good minutes in the NBA. In the NBA, the best league in the world. The best league in the world. And he's getting 15 to 20 minutes a game. And I wish he would get more. You know, but in the best league in the world, he's getting 15 to 20 minutes a game. Against the best competition in the world, 15 to 20 minutes a game. You know, I just don't see how going to the G League and playing against inferior competition for more minutes is going to help him to develop. I think, you know, you play against, you know, if you're playing 15 to 20 minutes a game against the best competition in the world, and yeah, you have some games that you don't perform well, but you also have games that you can perform, that you do perform well. And as you notice, when he goes up against guys, you know, when there's kind of a challenge there, he steps up. You know, 15 to 20 minutes, but we lose. Well, okay, so Dennis Smith Jr. is getting 30 minutes a game, and the Mavericks lose every night too. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's getting 30 minutes a game, and the Mavericks lose every night. So should he go to the G League? You know, I mean, both of them are playing against the best competition in the world and have the ability. Dennis Smith Jr., of course, has the ability to get 30 nights a game on his team, 30 minutes a game on his team. Frank has the ability to get 15 to 20 minutes a game on his team. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that warrants G League. I think he's a role player right now. And role players, they're the way, you know, it fluctuates with role players. Now, I seen somebody say something about Dotson. And the reason that Dotson's in the G League is because you have Courtney Lee, you have Tim Hardaway Jr., you know. You say, yeah, but we're going for a playoff spot unlike the Mavs. I mean, I get that. So, but Frank can help us, though. fight for that playoff spot because he can play defense. He can help us fight for that playoff spot. He can't help us fight for the playoff spot if he's playing in the G League. I mean, if Frank would have had 7.7 assists tonight, people would be like, okay, that's okay. It was decent. I think that I think we need to be patient with it. You got players. I mean, there was a time. I think we got to be patient with it. I don't think the G League is the answer for Frank. He might go to the G League and score 15 a game, but in my opinion, he'll go to the G League and play the same exact game that he plays now because it's the way he's trained. That's the way that he is. That's his mentality, and I don't think you're gonna change that mentality over a couple of weeks in the G League. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? He was groomed from the time he was young with the basketball mentality that he has. And if we want him to be more aggressive, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks in the G League is not going to teach him to be more aggressive. I mean, he'll be playing against inferior competition. Yeah, Tamika, I agree. He's above the G League. If you want, we want Frank to learn to be more aggressive. Well, guess what? It's probably not gonna happen. He can make some improvements this season, I think, and understand it a little bit better. But we want him to learn how to be aggressive in the summertime when he's developing his off-season training regimen. It's something that you put into his off-season training regimen. You know what I mean? And maybe you have him go out and play in some of these pro leagues, and where there's a little bit less structure, and guys can just go for it, and he learns how to just go for it. Get him playing in some of these playground leagues in the summertime, where he, is going to be forced to man up. I think that's how you develop that aggressive nature in them, because they don't have that really in France. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they have. I think that's where you develop that aggressive nature. Rito Raza, you said, Simeon, we would have ran Giannis out of town after his first season. I'm worried this team can't develop Frank or KP correctly. After 20-plus years, no trust in the Knicks organization. Well, I have more trust. I get where you're coming from. Believe me, I know. I have more trust in this regime right now than I have in any regime in a while. Scott Perry, for me, he just, I don't know, he brings a calm to me because I feel like he is moving intelligently, and I feel like he has a plan. He's sticking to that plan and wants to stick to that plan. So I think I trust in these guys. I trust in Scott Perry. Hopefully they look at our developmental team and how we develop players, and either bring in guys or make sure that if the guys that we already have, make sure that that they're the right people to train to develop our young guys. But you're right. If we had Giannis, we probably would have ran him out of town because we're so impatient and so ready to give up on our guys so quick. And I fell victim to it myself before. I'm not gonna lie. Because you get a guy and you say, oh well, he's a 9th pick, 8th pick. He should be doing this, that, this, and that. And we've just got to understand that every player has their own journey. But you got to be able to recognize when the talent is there. And guys like we got some NBA guys there. You got Scott Perry. You got Jeff Hornacek. These are NBA guys that's been around for a while. They would have known if Frank needed to go to the G League. And there would be, listen, Hornacek didn't draft Scott Perry. Didn't draft Frank Ntilikina. Scott Perry didn't draft Frank Ntilikina. Steve Mills, maybe he did, but primarily it was Phil Jackson. So it's not like there's an allegiance to Frank where they got to say, we got to keep him around to save face. We can't send him to the G League because we got to save face. Because that wasn't the guy that they drafted. That wasn't the guy that Scott Perry drafted. You know, I can see if Phil Jackson was here, then you might say, well, Phil Jackson is only keeping him. He's only keeping him on the squad and not sending him to the G League because he wants to save face. You know, I don't think that Scott Perry and them guys have that issue. They would have sent him to the G League if they feel like that's what he needs. And I believe that they're basketball guys. You know, so I think they're making the right decision with Frank. You know. All right, sensational viz. Let's talk about Kemba Walker. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. I do not believe that the Knicks should trade for Kemba Walker. It's not that I don't like Kemba Walker. You know, I really do like Kemba Walker, even though he's a small guard. I usually like longer guards, but I do like Kemba Walker. I think that Kemba is aggressive. You know, he's the kind of penetrating point guard that can really help Porzingis. But I think it would be terribly short-sighted to trade for Kemba Walker. Terribly short-sighted. You know what I mean? Renoy Rosa. Yeah, Clarence Gaines was part of that pick. He is still around, but I don't think that Scott Perry and Steve Mills would not send Frank to the G League just because of Clarence Gaines, you know. But back to Kemba Walker. I don't think it's not, the timing is not right for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I like Kemba Walker. I think he would probably play well with Porzingis, but it's not the right time. Kemba Walker makes $12 million this year. He'll make $12 million next year. And then he's going to want a big contract. We're not ready to give him that kind of a contract. I could see if we were a team that was on the threshold and we felt that Kemba Walker was going to put us over that threshold, then, yeah, I could see that then. But we're not. We're clearly not a team that's on the threshold. You know, we're barely on the threshold of making the playoffs. Barely. And we're holding on to that barely by a string, a very skinny, thin string, a piece of thread. I just don't think the timing is right, because if we trade for Kemba Walker, okay, we'll pay $12 million this year and next year. Then we're going to have to give him a big contract, right? And then once we give him a big contract, we're going to hamper ourselves, because you would have to give him a big contract. Because if you trade for Kemba Walker, that means you're probably giving up Frank. You're probably giving up a first-round pick or something in that manner. And so you can't trade for Kemba Walker, give up Frank or a first-round pick or both, and then not sign him and then not re-sign him. You can't do it. You would have to re-sign him. And then we'd be hampering ourselves financially, because we'd have to re-sign him to a big contract. And then where's the money? Where's the money going to come from to put the pieces around him and Porzingis? You know, I think the way to go is continue to develop Frank, and maybe, you know, if Trey Burke is here, maybe Trey Burke too, right? Continue to develop young guys that's going to create value for you later on. You know, like Porzingis was drafted to the Knicks. He has a team-friendly contract right now. And he highly, his play is worth more than his contract, because, you know, he's a young guy on a rookie contract. Eventually, Frank's play will hopefully give us more value than his contract, right? Now, we get another rookie this year. Hopefully that rookie's play will give us more value than his contract is worth. That's the way we want to build, because then you have guys who are playing like, say, KP is playing like a guy that can earn $20 million a year, but he's only earning $7 million. So you have the ability now to add other players around your big pieces so that you can be a better team. And then when the time comes, you give those guys the contracts that they deserve. But when we go and we get Kemba Walker, who's 28, 27, 28, whatever he is, then guess what we're going to have to do? He's in a mode where he wants to win. I mean, he's in the prime of his career. So he doesn't want to have to wait for KP to catch up or Frank to catch up. He wants it now. Let me see how old Kemba Walker is. You know, he's going to want it now, especially after years of losing in Charlotte. You know, he doesn't want to go to another team where they're going to say, yeah, let's wait another 2 years until KP is ready. Kemba Walker is 27 years old. He'll be 28 in May. Right? He's not going to want to go to another team where they say, yeah, let's give us 3 more years. Give us 2 more years until KP is really, really ready. And Frank is in his 3rd year. By that time, he's going to be 31 years old, 31 years old. I don't think that's what you do. I don't think that's the right move, because our guys aren't ready to perform at that level that Kemba Walker is going to need to perform on. It's going to hamper us financially. It's not the right time for us. You know, I think that we need to be patient continue to look for young guys that have small deals that we can develop and build for the future and create value with them. You know what I mean? We want to buy low and sell high, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? With Kemba Walker, even though his contract is good, you're still going to be buying high because we'll have to give him a big contract. And, you know, his age is not on the same timeline as our guys. So I think that you got to wait on a guy like Kemba Walker. You know what I'm saying? You wait in 2 years, 3 years. The plan is that we would hopefully be on that threshold of being really good. And then it's when you look to add one of those players. Because you look in 3 years, 2 years, that's, you know, we always talk about that summer of 2020. Right? We always talk about the summer of 2020. The summer of 2020, is the year that we would project to have some real salary cap funds, money, right? Because we have everybody off the books. You know what I'm saying? Just look at what would happen. Kemba Walker would get $12 million this year, then $12 million this year. And then in 2020, we'd have to pay him. Right? Okay, Cantor comes off the books in 19. And then you got these little contracts that come off the books. So basically, you would have Kemba Walker eat up all these contracts. All these little contracts that come off the books in 2019, Kemba Walker would eat all those contracts up. Most of them. You know what I'm saying? Most of these contracts, Kemba Walker, it would go to pay Kemba Walker. And that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? I think you wait. This is the year that you would say, you know, Tim Hardaway will be 27 years old, entering his prime. KP is still going to be 24 years old, not even entering his prime, but still playing at a high level, of course, all-star level. Hopefully Frank would be now playing at a really high level. Maybe you would have Damian Dotson playing at a high level. So we would have some young guys playing at a really high level, and we'd say, okay, we're on the threshold, And now we'd have some free money in this summer right here to really fill out our team. And I think that's what you wait for. I think that's what you wait for. I think that's the solution. That's the way to go about it. And everything that we do from now until then is trying to, you got to have some veterans, right? You got to have some veterans that are helping to develop your young guys. So, yeah, you need to have some vets there. But if any vet that you get needs to be on a small, short contract, the same way that Scott Perry has done. You look at the vets that's on the team besides Joakim Noah and Courtney Lee, but Scott Perry didn't sign Courtney Lee. All right, but Courtney Lee is playing well for us, probably the best season of his career. But you look at the guys that they signed. Sessions was $2 million. Jared Jack, $2 million. Michael Beasley, $2 million. Right? Trey Burke is making $784,000 for the remainder of the year. Veterans on small contracts. Small and short contracts. That is what we're going to need to do from now until 2020. We try to find young players that can give us value, and any veterans that we sign, we keep them to a small, short contract. And then in 2020, that's the year. Yeah, patience, young grasshopper. Exactly. Patience. And so I think that, that's what we need to do. I think that's the way we need to go. And I think that trading for Kemba Walker goes contrary to that. I think it takes us back to the same old New York Knicks, trying to go for the gusto, abandoning your plans, to try to capitalize on, a player that is good but not earth-shaking. You know what I'm saying? He's good. He's definitely good. I like Kemba Walker. I really like him. I hate playing against him because, he's so aggressive and he's a beast. But he still isn't, he's not earth-shaking. You know what I'm saying? He's not franchise transforming. He's not going to transform your franchise as soon as he steps on the floor. He's not that guy. And I think right now the only way you give up your farm is if you're going to get that guy that can transform your franchise just because he steps on the floor. That's in my opinion. But we didn't really talk too much about Burke in the fourth. We kind of went off on a lot of tangents. That's cool. That's okay. I see some people talking about, saying start Burke and all those type of things. I don't think that's going to happen. As a matter of fact, I was even thinking throughout the game before Burke got in the second half, that Hornacek, what I was thinking to myself, well, what do you bring him up for if he's not going to give him any burn? Why they bring him up? But they put him in the game and let him play. I don't know if we should jump out the window yet. Let's see him try to work it in first. You know what I mean? Let's work it in there first. And let's work him in and see how it goes there. I see somebody say some advanced stats on Kemba. I mean, Kemba has nice stats. We know it. I'm not disputing whether or not Kemba is a good ball player. I'm just disputing the timing of him coming to the Knicks. But I'm not gonna jump out the window and say let's start Trey Burke or let's make sure that he's playing in the fourth quarter. I will say I'd like to see him play more. You know what I mean? Because I like his penetration. I like, I like his aggressiveness, getting up and down the floor. He can push the ball. I like those things from him. So I definitely want to see him play more because I think he adds a dimension that, there you go, French unicorns. We're speaking the same words. He adds a dimension that we need. You know what I'm saying? So look at this. We got my boy Tony Crow calling in. He's not going to transform your franchise.
You?
Tony, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hold on, Tony. 1 second.
Yeah, yeah,
Thought I
yeah.
had my
Take your time.
headphones plugged in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Give a shout out to the chat right quick. I'm sure they can hear you.
Oh yes. One love, one love. Your blackest time.
It's time, bro. It's definitely time. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
how you
I
feeling?
just want to touch in
How you feel about the
on.
game, man? I got the clock started for you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I got the clock started. How you feel about the game tonight? And give me your
Um,
thoughts on Trey Burke playing in the fourth quarter.
I loved it. I loved it. I've been rooting for Trey. You know, I've been calling for him all year to come up. Um, I yo, I'm happy with the win. I can't complain anytime we win.
True,
Honestly.
true.
Um, a few things about Frank. Um, I think it's good competition for him.
Yep.
It's good learning experience. You know, Trey Burke has more experience.
Mm-hmm.
He you know, he can learn a lot from him. Um, I want to touch up on Kemba Walker real quick.
Okay.
You can hear me?
Yep,
Okay.
I got you.
Um, I'm not even the biggest fan of Kemba Walker, but if we could get him for the right price, like if we could get him for Courtney Lee and a second round pick, I jump on it. I even if we got to throw Willie in there, I
Now,
jump on it.
now see, if they would give us Kemba Walker for Courtney Lee and a second round pick, I'd do that too. I would. I would do that. And the reason why I would do that is because you're not giving up. You're getting younger. You're giving up Courtney Lee, who's 32 years old, and getting
Yeah,
Kemba Walker, who's 27 years old. But Charlotte's not going to do that because they're looking to save money. And if they were to take on Courtney Lee, that means Courtney Lee's contract doesn't end until 2020. So that means they're
what?
adding the extra year of the same salary.
How? Oh, Lee makes 12 million too.
Yeah, Lee's around that 12 million mark. Yep.
Well, you know what? Maybe that second round pick and Willie Herman Gomez will sweeten the deal for him.
They probably want a
But
first round pick and Billy Hernan Gomez. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I
I
think
mean,
they probably want a first.
it's always a negotiation. But but here's the thing. Now, if we could get him, um, like this is what I'm saying. Imagine we had Melo, you know, with Porzingis, with Melo at 28.
Right.
You
Uh
you know
huh.
what I mean?
Uh huh.
We would have loved that. Now, so Kimba, not saying he's Melo, but Kimba got skills.
Yeah, he does. But
And
I think you love that if you're not. I think the key is that we're not giving up anything young. You know what I mean?
yes, absolutely.
Because because we have to spend some. We're gonna have to spend some money to keep him. And if we give up something really young, something really really valuable like a first round pick of Frank, and then we don't want to pay him the money that he's gonna want, then it's gonna be like, wow, we just gave up a first round pick, or we just gave up a guy that we thought was gonna be our future
I
point guard, and now we
I,
have
to-
nothing. You know?
I totally agree with you in not going for it if it includes a first round pick. Eh, Unless it's a first round pick where we're talking about 2022, you know,
Hmm.
or something like that. But because even the risk and the reward is almost balance itself out with if Kimba's there mentoring Frank, taking over Jack's role, and Frank can still play the two, so it's not really taking away his playing time.
Hmm.
And if Lee's gone, that's more playing time at the two as well. Um, and worst case scenario, if we lose him or if we don't want to re-sign him,
Hmm.
that's salary cap for somebody else at a different position. If Frank is ready at that time,
Right.
I,
Now,
I think I think it's a win-win.
well, I would say
Um,
I would if they would do that for Courtney Lee, I would do that all day. I'd do that all day. Courtney Lee in a second round draft pick, I do it all day. I just don't think they're gonna take Courtney Lee because they want they're trying
They
to
want to get
clear up
young.
cap space. Yeah, they're trying to basically tear it down and start over.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And so they'd be adding an extra year with Courtney Lee.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm sure Kemba is on Scott Perry's radar, and he's looking. I don't think he's gonna do anything crazy, but I'm sure he's paying attention to it.
I mean, not for nothing. How much O'Quinn makes?
O'Quinn
For
makes like
4 million.
$4 million a year. Yeah, he makes like
Yeah,
4 mil. Yeah.
we would have to figure something out. But I would love it. Maybe a three, a three team trade. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not giving up the farm. I'm not giving up youth farm. But if we could make the right trade, and not for nothing, that organization over there, they make some mistakes. So we
Yeah.
might be
You're
able to
right. You're right.
swing
They make
them.
some mistakes. You're right about that. They make some
and
mistakes.
and,
You
and
know.
we about due the winner trade. Even though we might have won the Melo trade, I hate to
Yeah.
say it, but we about due the winner trade for
Yeah.
a change.
Well, look, hey, we got some other people that want to
Yeah,
call in, man. I appreciate you
yeah,
being the first one to jump on the line.
no doubt.
You know what I'm
Have a
saying?
good
And
night, man.
all right, bro. All
Peace, everyone.
right, thanks for calling in, Tony. Yeah, guys. The way you call in, I seen people calling in. I didn't want to. I didn't want to jump in, but I'm gonna put it into the chat right now. You call in through Skype, right? You can Skype in, and I'm gonna put the Skype name in right now. Uh, the, so I just put the Skype in. Hopefully you caught it in the chat, and you can try this as well. For some reason, I don't know. My Skype is kind of funny, kind of answers to two of them. You know what I'm saying? So you can try that right there. And I got the headphones on. I can hear you. Yeah, so definitely Skype in if you want to get on. But look at that. I jumped into the wrong thing. We'll talk about Trey Burke. Let's talk about this road trip. You know what I'm saying? But to just close it off with Trey Burke, it's good to see him come up and be productive. And I think we don't jump off the bridge yet. I think we still try to work him in and to see what happens from there. But big shout out to Trey Burke for what he, for handling that in the fourth quarter tonight. You know what I'm saying? Road trip. So far, we're 2-1 on a road trip. How you guys feeling about that? Is it fool's gold or, because we beat Brooklyn, and then we lost to whoever it was we played last game, and we were all kind of like, wow, we really going backwards, and then now, we pull off a win versus Utah, and boom, we're 2-1 on the road trip. So how you feeling about that? We got another calling in, Eddie Fantis. Eddie, can you hear me? All right. Yeah, what's going on, man? How you feeling? Good. All right.
There's
Eddie,
the French
say what's up to
unicorn.
the chat. Say what's up to the chat,
What up,
man.
fellas? It's the French unicorn.
All right. Oh, okay. The French. Hey, my brother, man. I appreciate that super chat, man.
Man, nothing.
Definitely appreciate
We
that.
appreciate what you do, giving us an outlet to talk about our Knicks, man.
Thank
We
you,
really
man.
appreciate.
Appreciate that. Definitely. All right, man. I got the timer up. It's your world, man. Let's go for it. Yeah, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm good.
Good.
All
right.
Eddie,
Say what's up to the chat. Say what's up to the chat. You gotta turn that down in the background a little bit, bro.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. There we go.
Better.
All right. Yeah, definitely. All right. So what you feel about the how you feeling about this road trip? We're 2-1 now. We started
That's a
off.
good start.
Yeah.
We should have had the last one too.
Yep. I'm sorry about that. You can go ahead. Somebody tried to call in, but go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
I was saying that I'm happy with 2-1. I think we should be 3-0,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll take 2-0. I'll take 2-1 to start.
Yep. Yep. We
I'm
definitely.
okay with how we've been playing so far this year. I know everybody wants to go to the playoffs, but I see a lot of promise. I see a future in our team for the first time in a while, so I'm happy with our progress.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're doing it the right way too.
Yeah, young guys.
Yeah, young guys are doing it the right way. And even though we're playing vets, a lot of people is like, a lot of people is like, let's tank. Hey guys, I can only get one call at a time on the Skype. So when he's done, then you can call in. But
We need a little mix of the vets and the youth anyway. It
yeah,
can't just be young guys. The vets got to show them how to do it.
right,
I like how we've been doing it. I don't think that the playoffs is the end all. I just want to see our guys, like today we didn't play Porzingis as much, preserve Porzingis, let Frank play. I think he should have had a little longer leash, but I get it.
mm-hmm,
It's a learning thing too. I get it.
right, exactly. And
Hornacek's like, yo, you ain't penetrating. I'm going to pull your ass. You ain't going to play today.
right,
And then next time you come in, make sure, get to the hoop. Trey played well too. So all of those things help. As long as we get the W's, I'm all about it.
exactly, right, and yeah, definitely, and I think that I'm all about trying to make the playoffs, but not making moves that's gonna cripple us for the future to make the playoffs. If we
I'm
can
not
make
about I'm not about Kemba anyway. I
yeah,
like his game, but I agree with you. He's not on our timeline.
right,
You want to get players, get guys 25 and younger,
exactly,
and then we could talk about making trades and trading first round picks. I don't even want to hear that stuff.
right,
That's the past.
right, exactly. And what we want to do is if we can make the playoffs, with either the team that we have or making trades that fit with our current philosophy. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I
Then
agree.
that's cool. Then that's cool. But I don't think we jump off the bridge about, okay, you know what? We're 4 games below 500. The playoffs are in the earshot. Let's do some crazy trade to push us into the playoffs. I think that'd be terribly short-sighted
And unnecessary.
and
We don't need it.
unnecessary. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? I think if you can win with who you have, cool, you go for it. And if
Kemba
not,
doesn't guarantee us no championship.
right, exactly. He doesn't guarantee us a chance. I mean,
He'll sell some jerseys.
right.
That's what he's going to do. He'll
Right.
sell jerseys.
I don't even know if he guarantees us the playoffs for real.
No, I don't think so either.
I guess you would say probably. I mean, at the point that we are now, you can't say he guarantees us the playoffs.
I think that you got to give Tim Hardaway Jr. a little chance to come back into the offense. It was just his third game back, first game starting. I like the way our team looks when he plays.
Yeah.
I think he gives us that dimension. Trey Burke penetrating.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm not in a rush for, we're not a championship team. So what does the rest matter? Let's
Exactly.
build like Golden State build, Minnesota build, Philadelphia build.
Exactly.
Let's do it the right way.
Exactly. And that's how you do it. We do it the right way. And I mean, and I'm a firm believer, man. If you do it the right way, good things are gonna happen for you.
They're already happening. We ended up with Porzingis. We ended up with Willie. Even though he's not playing, I still see. I mean, he plays for Spain with second best league behind the Gasol brothers, and I still see promise in Willie. Billy, I mean.
Yeah.
I keep calling him Willie, but it's Billy. Frank. I love Frank.
Yeah.
I even think Baker's playing pretty well. I thought he played well today, and he didn't score, but his D, the way he sets picks, passes the ball, we got a good.
Knicks fans, we're impatient, and we're gonna talk about when we have bad games and mess up, we're gonna talk about all those type of things, and that's cool. But we just gotta keep that long-term vision.
We're the most impatient fans, but I think that for the first time it looks like it looks right. So I just want to go with it.
Right. Yeah. Well, my man, the time is up. I thank you for
I
calling in.
appreciate you, Russell.
I appreciate you, man.
And I thank you for what you do, man.
Definitely. I appreciate it.
All right, bye,
All right,
fellas.
All right, thanks for the call, man.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
All right, so we are 2-1 on this road trip, and French Unicorn, he said, he would have liked to been 3-0, but he's satisfied with being 2-1. How you guys feeling about being 2-1? So that basically, we 2 of the last 3 on the road. After struggling on the road, if we can go into LA and pull out a win in LA, that'd be 3-1 on this road trip, and that'd be looking pretty good. We got another caller coming in. I want to see what this caller thinks about the road trip. Caller, can you hear me?
Yes.
What's going on? Can you turn that down in the background?
Oh yeah, I turned it off.
Daniel, what's going on? It's Daniel, right?
Yes.
What's going on, bro? So tell me, how you feeling about this road trip?
I'm gonna tell you exactly how I'm feeling. Yo, you want to know what the biggest problem is right now? I've been trying to tell y'all, but nobody seemed to understand.
Okay.
The biggest problem with the Knicks right now is Hornacek keeps playing Beasley and KP together. I don't understand, why does he keep doing that? I like Beasley. I like his game, but you ever notice when Beasley comes into the game, he takes KP's opportunities every time, every time off the floor.
I mean, that's it's going to happen. I mean, eventually, if you get another bona fide threat on the floor, that person's going to take some of it, going to take some of KP's shots as well. I think what Hornacek is trying to do is, see if we can attack teams small with putting KP at the 5 a little bit.
We can do that, but I just think the problem is that when that happens, literally, it's like the spacing is bad, and Beasley is taking all KP shots. If you notice, remember when Beasley was hurt at the very beginning of the year, Beasley wasn't getting that much playing time, and guess what? KP's numbers were up. KP shooting percentages were up. If you look at, even though Beasley, you could look at a stretch. Beasley's been scoring 18 points over the last 12, 10 games. KP's percentage has been going down. It's because KP's a rhythm player. And I feel Beasley is taking KP out of rhythm. And you don't want your franchise player being taken out of rhythm.
Now, do you think it's really due to Beasley playing more?
Yeah, I just think it's Beasley
got deeper into the season because
I just think Beasley and KP just can't be on the floor together. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think they can be on the floor together. I think that now I will agree with you. Beasley, he gets the ball, and for the most part, when he gets the ball, that he's looking to score.
Okay.
Same thing with KP. Most of the time when he gets the ball, he's looking to score. Hold on for 1 second. Hey guys, when the timer is up, that means that we're on a call, and I can only get one call at a time.
Yes.
So I agree. They're both looking to score, and yes. I will say though is that it definitely slows down the offense when they're both on the floor.
And you can see, let's be real.
Because both of them, KP, a lot of people complain about Melo playing ISO, but KP is playing a lot of ISO this year as well.
KP is playing ISO, but the difference between KP and Melo is that KP moves. Melo stands in one spot.
KP moves a little bit more. I give you that. He's working
on
taking
the basketball. He doesn't go to that one. He doesn't go to the wing. You could literally read Melo every time he comes down the floor. Melo comes down the floor, you give him the ball, and he does his little hesitation, and he doesn't move from there. Porzingis now, he's getting you in the post off of pick and rolls. Porzingis, he'll come down in transition and get a bucket off of you. he's moving around with the basketball. Like you can see.
I mean, Hornacek does, he does move him to different spots on the floor. He shoots the ball from the top of the key. He posts up in that mid post. But there are some times where we kind of know he's going to get that ball.
That's true.
In that mid post area.
Yes.
And when he gets the ball in that mid post area, he's usually not passing it out.
That's true.
He's usually taking a shot. But see, he's young, and he's got to learn, especially when that double or triple team is coming, to
pass it out,
the open man. You know what I'm saying? But when Beasley and KP are on the floor together, I will give you that. I definitely agree with you. It slows down a lot more because both of them are looking to ISO.
I can name 2 games. Look, the Miami Heat game. At that very end of that Miami Heat game, you could see Beasley, right? They was giving the ball to Beasley. And where was KP in the offense? It was like they were not. You know what I'm saying? You do not want your star player.
But see, sometimes like, I don't think it was Beasley who made KP get off. I think KP was tired. Guys was beating him up. I think that's what made KP's shot percentage fall. And like games like that Miami game, when KP ain't hitting, see, this is what I like about Beasley, and I don't mind him being on the floor with KP, because if KP is not strong enough yet to kind of command his spot on the floor, he still gets pushed off the spot. It's hard for him to back his guy down, so he gets, he has to rely on that turnaround fadeaway or a mid-range shot right now, because he's got a couple years where he's got a growing feel into his body. Beasley can command his spot on the floor, and when KP is not really hitting, Beasley can go get us a bucket. That's what I like about Beasley on the floor with him.
And I just feel like if you are gonna play Beasley, just don't have KP on the floor.
Okay.
And how much time do I have? Because
yeah, the time is up. But go ahead. You got something? Go ahead.
Well, I just got one last thing to say about the Trey to Frank thing. Okay, I think Trey should take Ron Baker's minutes. I'm sorry, because Ron Baker, I mean, he hustles, but that hustle, that defense, really, to be honest, anyone who sees Ron on him, they torch Ron. They torch him.
You don't think Ron can play good defense? You don't think
he's just very pesty. He just has that pesty. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the type of guy, like, he'll get lucky to get one steal. Lucky.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's going to take a little bit of time. I think Hornacek is kind of filling out Trey Burke. I know he coached him before in Utah, but I think he's kind of filling him out, seeing how he fits with inside this team.
I just think that Trey and Frank could actually play together. The way how, he had Ron and Frank together, he should do the same thing with Trey and Frank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think just one more thing. For the years to come, I think, if you have Frank starting and you got Trey as your backup, the Knicks will be fine.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. He's there. They're definitely trying to develop Trey, so we'll see what happens. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the call, bro. I know I got some other people trying to call in. I appreciate you calling in, being on the chat.
I appreciate you too, man.
Man, almost. Thank you, appreciate that. Almost 2:00 in the morning and we up here, but I'm gonna jump off because I know some other people want to call in. Peace out, man.
Peace.
Yeah, guys. So we're 2-1 on a road trip. I know a couple other people was trying to call in. You can go ahead and call in. We're 2-1 on the road trip. We go to LA. That's a game that we could win. That's a winnable game. And we play LA. Well, we play LA at 3. It's 3:30 on Sunday. Early game. And then we play in Golden State. You know what? I'm not even gonna look at that Golden State right now. Focus on that we're 2-1 on the road trip with a chance to go 3-1. And if we can leave this road trip, we can leave this road trip 3-2. I think that's good. That looked real good, especially when we started off on the road so bad. Mark Starks, what's going on with you, bro? Mark Starks, can you hear me? Oh, there we go. All right.
Hey, what's up, chat, man? What's up? I'm thinking we're ahead of schedule, man. I think this year should be like a year where we play the young guys. Reaching the postseason, I don't think should be a priority. You with me?
Say that over again. Hey, Ron Martinez, you'll be the next one to call in, man. We got what's your name? Oh, we got Mark on the chat. We got Mark on the Skype.
Yeah.
And then Ron Martinez, you can call in right after. As soon as we're done, call in. Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm saying this year making the playoffs shouldn't be a priority. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I hear you.
Yeah, I think this year we should play the young guys and build. Yeah, I think going into this year, I thought we were in the perfect spot to set us up for the next like 10 years. Right. If we got another top 5 pick at small forward, and we'd be good.
Yeah.
The team is overachieving. We have a bunch of young guys, but we still need a small forward. The league is dominated by small forwards right now.
I agree. Point guards and small forwards. Yep, point guards and small forwards.
You need that small forward. We're not going to get that guy. Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges should be between 8 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a perfect fit for an athletic, tough guy who is like a bully inside. He's a perfect fit next to Porzingis.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my thing. Frank, I think Frank's gonna be fine. Courtney Lee, you could trade Courtney Lee as far as I'm concerned, and you could trade Kyle Quinn as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. I think that Hornacek has already kind of put it out there that this season is really about developing the young guys, and if we can win, then we can win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I think that they're gonna stay on course with what they're doing, and they're not gonna try to get players that's gonna put us over the top. And I think we will see more of the young guys play. I agree.
Yeah. But even if you look at that, Willie, there's no reason for unless you think Kantar is in the future plans.
I think they're looking at him to see if he will be. Kantar's 25 years old.
Yeah, I know,
so
but he's gonna
be. He's still kind of young.
He's young, but
the thing
he's
is,
gonna be.
He's on a big his contract. He made $17 million this year, $18 million next year. So
yeah. So if he opts out, he's playing well. He fits Porzingis well. If he opts out, are you willing to give Kantar close to $20 million or whatever?
Me, I'm not gonna give him $20 million.
See, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't do that because you have Willie, and Willie has shown that he can play in this league.
Yeah.
He's a little soft, but he's capable.
Yeah. I'm not gonna give Kanter $20 million. I don't think Kanter opts out because I think that him and his team, they probably know that he's not gonna get $18 million on the market. I think that and then I think that he'll have a more friendly contract. Once his contract is up, he makes $17 million this year, $18 million next year. I think once his contract is up, you'll see Kanter on a more team-friendly contract.
And two quick things. I'm a fan of. I think Hornacek gets a bad rap, but if I could get Mark Jackson, I'm bringing Mark Jackson home.
Yeah.
And what's the last thing? And Porzingis numbers are gonna drop because this is the first year he has to do it, and the Knicks don't really have a point guard to get him easy buckets. So don't look at the numbers. Look at the fact that he's defending. He's one of the better defenders, stat wise. He's defending.
Okay.
So you have a two-way player who's 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason to bash Porzingis.
Well, I don't think people. Well, some people do. Some people bash everybody.
Oh yeah, they say he's soft. Porzingis is not soft.
Yeah, but I think that I think it he's in that role now as the number one guy, and we have no choice but to kind of evaluate his progress. But it needs to be that evaluating his progress.
And every year he's
you know.
progressed. So right. So
Yep.
until he stops, you can't really cannot.
But you got to admit though, he has problems dealing with physical play. I'm not saying he's a soft guy with a soft mentality, but he does have problems dealing with that physical play.
And my point to that,
and it's because he's young and he's not.
Yeah.
He's just not. He doesn't have that physical stature
Yeah.
yet. You know,
and I
give him a couple
credit.
years.
Every year he seems to put on 10 pounds. It's not much, but I'll take it, man.
Yeah.
So,
you know, give him a couple years and he'll be stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be
All
stronger.
right,
All right, Mark. I appreciate the call in, bro. You staying up late with me. I appreciate that too.
Die hard, man. Die hard. I live and die by the next one.
Definitely, I'm with you. I appreciate the call, man. All right, guys. I'm gonna take one more call. Ron Martinez. I knew you were trying to call in. So if you can call in, you know, definitely, you know, call in now. You know, let's chop it up. Let's talk a little bit about the Knicks and the Lakers and what we expect from this game. And then, you know, I got to get up early tomorrow morning. I got a fundraiser I got to do tomorrow morning. You know, going out with my AAU team, selling these Krispy Kreme donuts, starting to get ready for the season. So I got to get up early in the morning. You know what I mean? But I couldn't miss getting on, especially with the Knicks winning. I wasn't gonna miss it. You know. There we go. Ron, what's up, brother, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, got through.
All right, yeah. Got through. Definitely.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah. Hold on. Say that over again now. Somebody was trying to call in right on top of you.
I'm sorry. No, I'm saying a win is a win. I mean, even though it's against the Jazz, but a win is a win.
Yeah, definitely.
But I know I'm on the clock, and I know you're about to wrap up here. So just a couple of points I want to point out. Like talking about Frank. And I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but I think when you get a chance, maybe not on this show, if you pull up like J Kidd's number or John Stockton numbers, those kind of numbers. The question is it a possibility or is it a reachable? Those stats that J Kidd and Stockton put up numbers, is Frank capable of getting those type? Because these guys are Hall of Famers, but if you look at Frank with his length, you know, is he capable of getting rebounds? We already know he can get steals because he plays, you know, good defense.
Right.
But the offense, you know, just like Kawhi Leonard, when he came into the league, he wasn't considered an offensive player, but can he develop that offensive game in time? You know, so, you know, when we talk about point guards, you know, you have the point guards like Russell Westbrook, which is not your traditional point guard, and you got CP3. So I guess we have to figure out maybe in time, like I said, when his body matures and with more experience, we'll see it all. But then again, he's a baby. Like I say, I agree with you. He's a baby, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But, you know, sometimes when you pull out people who are Hall of Famers, you would think these guys are scoring 25, 30 points a game. Some of these guys are only scoring 30. I mean, J Kidd was a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. I think he averaged about 12 points a game. But the thing is, you know, he's J Kidd, but he was consistent. And I think towards the end of his career, he developed a three-pointer. You know, the three-point.
Yeah.
You know.
And
but
and I think with Frank, you know, Jason, I'm not gonna say he's going to be Jason Kidd, but that's the style of game that I think he's going to play. You know what I'm saying? Emmanuel C. In the chat, Emmanuel C. is saying, you know, it's a mental thing with Frank, and I agree. I think now it's a mental thing with him. He's, you know, a young kid playing with with men. You know, he's coming from France, coming in playing for, you know, a high profile team. You know, there's a lot going on there that he's got to learn to deal with too. Just like KP is learning to be the focal point of the team.
Right.
You know, Frank is learning how to be a point guard on a high profile team, and that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think guys like Jason Kidd, you know, I think that's the style of player we're going to see from Frank. That's the style of player that he's going to be. You know, today we have all these score first point guards. So everyone thinks that, you know, that's the kind of point guards you need to have. But historically, if you go back and you look over the league historically, and the league has changed from, you know, it goes through, you know, different types of styles of play, and it keeps evolving. But for the most part, your championship teams, had point guards that were leaders and could distribute the ball, not always scoring point guards. Even though Kyrie was a scoring point guard, he probably wasn't winning the championship without LeBron.
Right.
And then you have Steph Curry. Beyond that, there's not that many. You have Isaiah Thomas from the Pistons, who was a scoring point guard. I mean, beyond that, there's not many scoring point guards that win you championships. It's mainly those point guards that can lead the team, get assists, set the team up, put the team in the right position to be successful. Those are usually the guys that bring you championships.
Well, let me ask you a question, because since we've been talking about timelines and trying to like I said, not trade for Kemba because he's on a different, he's old. I mean, like, for example, like, if I'm correct, I believe, because I want to ask you a question, but just a quick point. Like, for example, like the Celtics, they were departed. Of course, they were in a different situation that we were in, but Isaiah Thomas and Kemba are about the same age. But by just getting Isaiah Thomas, it put them in a position. Of course, they had draft picks, but put them in a position, to even make a move for Kyrie Irving. Right. And Isaiah only played a year for the Celtics, and now he's with the Cavs. Right. But I'm looking at, and the question I was going to ask you, because if you look at the championship that the last couple of years, the Spurs, the Warriors, the Heat, the Cavs, they all built championship teams, but not exactly the same way. But one thing I would say, there's the common denominator with all those teams, they all have talent. So eventually you're going to have talent. But I think right now with Scott Perry, the GM or the president that we have now, my question to you is, let's say the Nets right now had a good team, do you think they will still, because we're talking about sharing the same market, you think they will still be as patient, like let's be on this 3 to 5 year plan? Because I remember when the Nets one time were trying to, put that team together with the owner. He said he wanted to win championship within 5 years. I'm wondering, are the Knicks fans right now more relaxed because we know the Nets are almost in the same situation as us or worse? Because if the Nets had a nice squad, we'll be as patient. Say, okay, well, listen, we can't let them get the back page story. The Nets and the Knicks, especially now they're in Brooklyn. Yeah. So I'm asking you, because Scott Perry, I'm correct, I think he was with the Pistons when they won a championship, but
he was
right?
Yeah, he was an assistant coach with the Pistons. Yeah.
Okay, so that team didn't have really any superstars, and they won back-to-back championship, but they were built differently. They were more of a team with Larry Brown, right? Larry Brown was the coach.
Right, exactly.
So my thing is that I know we have such a losing culture in the Knicks. Do you think he's trying to go in that direction, like have more of a, like, what kind of identity, what kind of squad you think he's trying to put together with KP? You think he wants to do more of like a San Antonio thing, or?
I think that I think he's trying to put together from right now, starting now.
Right.
I think he's trying to put together a team of young players that want to get up and down the floor, want to play hard, play hard defense, bring energy every night, and compete every night. I think that's what he's starting with. And then I think eventually, I think he's going to look to build a team that's similar to that Pistons team in the style of play. Because that Pistons team, the way that they played basketball, they didn't have any bona fide super duper stars, but they still put 4 guys on the All-Star team. They were kind of like a low. They're kind of like a low key Warriors team.
Right.
The way the Warriors are now and the way the Warriors play now, except, of course, the Warriors have, guys like Steph Curry and KD on the squad. Where back then it was, it was Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton and Ben Wallace.
Right.
But I think that they had the same style of play, and I think that style of play, in my opinion, is going to be the way teams play in the future. I think of course, the Warriors didn't invent that. That's the way that they played way back in the day. That's the way teams played a long time ago. So it's not like the Warriors invented this style of play, but I think players enjoy that style of play because, the ball is moving. Michael Jordan kind of brought in the whole ISO thing because he was Michael Jordan. He was Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And so then everyone started to oh, I got to be able to take over the game when it was necessary and da-da-da-da. So
Right.
then the game kind of really slowed down and went to throwing the ball into one guy that could score. And now the
Right.
Warriors kind of brought back the Spurs as well. Brought
Mhm.
back this, the ball movement, man movement, sharing the ball, not worrying
Right.
about who gets the shot up. And I think that's the
Right.
kind of system and team that he's trying to put together.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Warriors. Is a unique team because how many teams can actually outshoot them?
Right.
They're built offensively to outscore you.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So, but I think, like you said, with Scott Perry, maybe if he's trying to build, because I remember that Detroit team, they were no more for their defense. They weren't considered an offensive team. They will
Right.
keep you under
Right.
90 points. I think it was. They will keep. That was the
Yeah.
average. Like that you would
Yeah.
score against them,
Yep.
right?
Yep. They were that kind of defensive team, real tough defensive team. But
Right. Like,
offensively, the way that they did it offensively
right. That was
was
their
just
offense,
through
like defense.
yeah, their defense was unstoppable. They shut teams down. But
Yeah.
what they did is move the ball because they didn't have just one guy that was gonna go get a bucket every time. Hey,
Exactly.
but Ron, I gotta
All right. Gotta wrap up. I know.
gotta wrap it up. All right, thank you for the call in, bro.
All right,
All
brother.
right, all right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to just touch on this Lakers and Knicks real quick. We beat the Lakers, earlier in the season. Of course, the Lakers, teams fluctuate throughout the seasons and are playing better at certain times. I think the Lakers have been kind of okay lately. Right now, the Lakers are 16-29, 5-5. Excuse me, 5-5 in their last 10 games. They lost. I guess they played tonight, I believe. Lonzo Ball's been playing well. So, we're going to have a challenge on our hands. But we need to, this is a game that's definitely winnable. And if the team is serious about trying to make the playoffs, we got to win this game. We got to leave out of here 3-1 on the road trip and then go into Golden State. We have we even won two back-to-back games on the road this season? I don't think we have, right? We've only won 5 games on the road this year. Yeah, we're 6 games on the road. We're 6-16 on the road, 3-7 in our last 10. We won. Of course, we won tonight. But this is a game that we can win. It's winnable. If we can pull off this win, that'll be a really, really nice start to the road trip. So let's hope that we're ready to play. If Kuzma's playing, he's gonna rip New York a new one. We'll see what happens. He didn't really do it. He didn't rip us a new one last time. But it's different now. So we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be different. I don't think that Hardaway played in the last game versus the Lakers. Matter of fact, let's pull that up real quick before I jump off. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up just so we can kind of check this out, see exactly what we did versus the Lakers in the last game. I just want to look at the box scores a little bit, but we know that Frank played well against Lonzo. I think it was a close game. Frank had a really good fourth quarter in that game, if I recall correctly. Frank put up like 13.7 assists or something like that. Of course, Lonzo had a little bit better numbers, but Frank didn't play as many minutes as Lonzo. I don't think Tim Hardaway was there in that. Well, he might have been. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But it's definitely a game that we have the ability to win, and we need to take care of business if we consider ourselves a serious team, a team that's seriously threatening for the playoffs. But we've talked about that, and we've said that on several occasions. So, I remember Brandon Ingram really didn't have a good game against us. Excuse me. In that first game, Brandon Ingram Pull this over here. Brandon Ingram had 5 points. I wouldn't expect him to score 5 points again against us, and he's probably going to be looking to play well. Kuzma had 19 points, 6 rebounds. Julius Randle, 13 points, 4 rebounds. Clarkson, 12 points. You know, they had a nice balance scoring. Brook Lopez, 4 points, 4 rebounds. What did we do? Porzingis had 37 points. It'd be nice to be able to get that from him again. Don't know if it's going to happen, but he had 37 points, 11 rebounds. Excuse me. Cantor, 14 points, 11 boards. Courtney Lee had 10 points. McDermott had 10 points. Jared Jack had 3 points, 10 assists. Frank had 13 points and 5 assists. Beasley had 13 points. So we had some good balance, some decently, some balanced scoring as well. 113 points and went into OT. So, let's see what we do. Hopefully we can pull off a win and be 3-1 on the road trip, and to show you how quickly things can turn in the NBA. You know what I mean? Because we were kind of down on the team the last game, wondering if the season's floating away. And they pull off this win tonight, and if they end up winning against the Lakers, the season will be back on. You know what I mean? So, guys, I thank you guys for jumping on late. It's about 2:30 in the morning. I got to get up 6:30, so I'm about to hit the sack and call it a night, call it a day, call it a morning, whatever I'm gonna call it. But I'll definitely be on Sunday after the game, and I'll have all the time in the world after the game to just sit and talk Knicks and basketball. So we should have a really good show on Sunday. All right? But I'm about to jump on off of here. I appreciate you guys, everybody. I love the debate. I love the talk. We keep calling in. Much love, everybody. Be safe. Be warm. And I'm out. Thank you for joining the live stream. If you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed the stream, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell. You get a notification anytime that I'm live, anytime that the video goes out. Check out these videos over here. See what we've done in the past. And peace.